Hello everyone, this is Scott from the Exposition.com, and today we will be reviewing Dungeon Defenders. Dungeons Defenders is a wonderful strategy-based game where your objective is to defend a nexus from endless waves of enemies. As you continue playing through the game, you'll unlock new gear, pets, players, and you'll have more difficult maps. The game can be played on local or online, and it comes with an abundant amount of champions that you can choose from, and even more if you buy a pack. I have the full edition and all of the downloadable content, so I'll be able to show you all the characters. A quick rundown of your video. It enables 640, 800, 124. Most standard screen sizes are supported. And for basic settings, you pretty much are good. And your control menu is visible here. Let's jump into the character. I'm going to play locally. And I'm going to distress. I have a level 20 summoner. A summoner's simple thing is they can summon and they can use 2 pets. They're the only class that can use 2 pets, and they're the only ones that are allowed to summon minions to the field. The only downside is summoners are incapable of combat on their own. They rely completely on their pets and on their summons. The summons are able to take places on the battlefield and are only able to be deployed by the use of gems that you collect during the field. I'm going to create a hero real quick and show you all.
The apprentice is eager to delve deeper into the world of
you have the apprentice. Your apprentice is your basic.
The apprentice has learned the art of conjuration. While summoning towers of
the apprentice is your damage. They're able to summon little mobs. They're great for beginners. Your squire is your tank and melee damage. They cannot summon. The huntress is long range. Does not do much damage. Has a lot of utility, but again cannot summon. The monk is one of the hardest. He is mostly meant for support to aid their allies. The jester is interesting. You can move towers and your abilities are random. They are very difficult to play. The summoner can have 2 pets, and they can, that's about it, they summon.
Assembled long ago by a master mechanic
Series
within the depths of Sky City.
is basically the huntress. Barbarian is like a squire, but a lot more difficult. You don't have as much survivability, but you have incredible damage. The countess is the squire, but basically the female form.
The countess can more than hold her own.
And she has some abilities to rally. She has some abilities to rally her allies. Your ranger is basically the huntress again, but it's the male version. Their abilities are pretty similar, but this one has a lot of AoEs and an invisibility cloak, which cloaks their nearby allies. Initiate is also comparable to the monk. Your adept is again your apprentice. Yeah. A lot of these are basically the female and male versions of the class. Let's go in and I'm going to give you a sample of my Volnus, my summon. Being level 20, I don't have a lot of points. To get points, you hold up mana. Your mana is your currency. If I come over and I have 53,168 in my mana bank. As we can see, I look pretty awesome. The game's kind of funny in the way that it works, but God, it's been so long I don't remember how to play this thing. As you can see, you could buy pets. These pets all have different abilities. I have 2 locked in, which are 2 dragons. Dragons are long range as opposed to the eagles who are close range. Pets give you certain pluses to your abilities. These are all abilities. It gives me a ton of pluses and no negatives. That's what I wanted. However, if you look at the eagle, I have about 3 times the damage. The only advantage is these ones are long range. Long range attacks are necessary if you are going to play a summoner, because you cannot afford to get hit. And when we come over to the item box, if you play, you actually get a ton of minions. You get an engineer, a heavy, a medic, and a pyro. These are items, and of course you get the hero class, aperture, science, HPD, which is usable with these specified classes. They are all like little Easter eggs that are built into the game on behalf of Valve. You could swap your hero at any time, and a hero shop is what you can sell your items when you're playing with other people. When you play online, you're able to set up an AFK shop where you sell your items to other players. If they come into your shop and buy something, the mana will be automatically transferred to your bank. Now, there would be no complete review without jumping into the actual combat, so I'm going to do a very good starter mission just to get you guys going. As you can see, I've only played up to the servants' quarters, and the modes go from easy to hard to insane to nightmare. I have not played nightmare, nor do I want to. However, after every time that you beat it, you're able to unlock specific modes, survival and pure strategy. If I enable this, it's just wherever you want to start on the waves. I mean, I can say start me off on wave 8. I'm not going to do that. Survival mode is also the same thing. Basically, your objective is to survive as long as you can, and you can mix. Let's just start off on easy, because I don't want to be in this too long. We come into the match, and the summoner has a very simple objective. I have to set up my defenses to prevent anyone else from getting to our crystal. You see this crystal? Don't let the enemies hit it. As we can see, as we travel along the map, you'll have various doors. These doors are where the enemies will open. Not all doors open on the map, and the ones that will open in the next wave are indicated on your menu. I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna gather these jewels. The jewels in the chest are what allow you to summon in the initial start. Okay, I have gathered all the boxes that are currently on the map. Now I need to place my minions accordingly. When I want to place a minion, I have to activate one of my abilities. See the 6 down there? The 6 on my bottom right is the hotkey automatically to set off your ability. Now, the ones in the middle can go either way. That one, the far left, will go up the left side along with that door. This one will come up here and on that one. So the best thing to do is to put one minion at each side. I always prefer to put since it's a starting round, to put an archer right around this location. Not only will it give you protection for this direction, but over here as well, which will help in a later part of the map. You don't need to place down in a huge army of minions, because if you read the 4 out of 60, that is the total amount of units that I'm allowed to place on the field. I don't want them to go to waste. Don't put a bunch of archers everywhere hoping to win the match, because when you go into harder difficulties, you will not be able to do so. We come into here and we're going to start this quick match. As we can see, the minions are going to tread. 2 are heading to the left and 1 is heading right. Why didn't I put one in the middle? Because I don't want to risk them getting hit. I can stack minions anywhere on the field, unless they're within a spot that isn't flat or there's something to obstruct them. Your minions are as powerful as you make them. Depending on where you put your skills after leveling up will depend on how powerful the abilities are. The gems that are dropped will be used to the summoner to fuel his additional abilities. This creates for some interesting combat, to say the least. And as you can see, the match was completed. The green gems will reward you with more coins, well, I guess you could say mana, than the blue ones. We come over here, and we can repeat the whole process up until the match is done. As you can see at the top right, it's a 2 out of 5. I have 5. Here we go. We have our first piece of loot. I can equip this, and any stat that is better will be highlighted with a plus, with a green plus. Any stat that is neutral will be highlighted with white, and anything that is less will have red. As you can see, the red thumbs down indicates that this is a worse item. Therefore, if you hit the E, it'll send it to your box. By sending it to your box, you can keep it and sell it later for more mana to buy new items. You generally want to complete this process until your character is geared up, and then you want to go online and play with other players. It's a rather fun game, and it's great for passing the time, whether you're staying up late at night or you're just bored and want to find a way to skip out on doing English homework. I don't know. Whatever you're all into. As we can see, I have a large amount of minions to place. I'm going to place my first work minion. There we go. He's huge, he's mean, he's ugly. And we are ready to begin the next match. Keep in mind that different minions require different items. He requires more space to use than a traditional archer, but he does more damage and has a lot more hit points. Downside is, he's also melee, which means he will be taking hits, which will introduce us to the healing. Healing is the default 4. This will allow you to heal any minion that is damaged on the battlefield. The downside is you have to do it by clicking on them and being close to them. If you're too far away, you will not be able to defend them. As we could see in the beginning matches, it's becoming effortless for him. However, this side may actually have difficulty because we have ranged minions coming in, and there's a lot more on this side than what we would expect. But as you can see at the top right, the 16 out of 19 is the amount of enemies on the field and how many I've killed. I've killed 16, 17 of the total that are on there, and the 2 archers are moving into combat mine. It looks like though they'll be killed by his speed and his damage before he gets to him. All in all, the game is not visually impressive by any milestone. It's pretty basic. It uses a lot of cartoony styling that you'd see in most games these days, but it does have some nice texturing and styling to it. While the wood is also kind of flat, it doesn't have any real value. The map seems very flat, bland, and you may not like it, but when you're in the middle of combat, it's not going to be that noticeable. Just because the game visually looks stunning, it doesn't mean it's going to be good. Ergo, Firefall. Firefall was recently reviewed on the website, and it scored very poorly. Mostly because the game is flat out boring. It looks wonderful. It has smooth combat, but the game itself is just sucks. But it's okay. It doesn't matter because the game is still fun at times, but at others it just makes you want to question why on earth you're wasting your time. As we can see, I've deployed the first warrior minion. He is giant, he is bulky, and he is deadly. He's fast. He doesn't have as many hit points as the orc minion, but he's much faster, uses 2 weapons as opposed to 1, and looks pretty freaking cool. And he's also a ninja. And these minions are also not that intelligent. As we could see, he's kind of standing there in the midst of combat because he doesn't chase after them. They're not very active without you controlling them. So I select them, and then I'm going to wish to move them. Generally to engage. Why won't you wish to me? Oh, I'm not in summoner mode. Whoops. Get back over here. I've selected them. Try to see. They're kind of an infinite loop that's quite common in this game. It's because the minion will not move without being told by its summoner. But it moved initially to activate its attack. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to do the only thing that's left. We're going to heal him by hitting R4 and selecting him. As you can see, the game is not by any means like the most interesting game in the world. No? Alright, I thought I could get away with that joke. So here's your problem is I've not selected them. Now I got these 2 guys trying to move, but again, he's very stupid. Bear with him. And ninja mode. Kill. Executioner style. As you can see, the game is wonderful in terms of the combat. It's not new or innovative, but it's actually kind of fun. I've spent many hours playing this game. I've spent many hours on the survival, just trying to figure out the best way where to place all the guys. And I always like to experiment. Remember, as you level up, you get new abilities. I get new summons every time not every time I level up, but every large interval for leveling. It'll eventually cut off when I get the ogre, which will be the largest, the most powerful, and definitely the tankiest minion in the game. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more video game reviews, make sure you hit the like button, share it with your friends. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the comments here or check out the full review on the website. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.